What up, everybody? Let's go! Flipping through the packs, chasing down that 101, yeah. Searching for the grail till the morning sun comes. Buster! Hit that monster pull, an impossible play. Change the whole damn game in a major way. We hit that monster pull, an impossible play. Change the whole damn game in a major way. Whoa!
Hello, Hilliard and the internet. All right, welcome to a pretty packed, very green St. Paddy's Day edition of Bad Breaks with Buster Chestnut. We are coming at you live, as always, from Leaping Lizards here in Hilliard, Ohio. If you're not here, you can still get here and sign up for the open mic, which comes later after the showcase. All right, first of all, I just wanted to say this first segment is brought to you by Buster Chestnut Cards. Links will be somewhere. I don't know. I'll have to pop it up when I get over to the soundboard. But anyway, so tonight hits a little different, and I kind of gave a little bit of a warning to some people in the audience that St. Paddy's Day is a tradition that, getting into an absolute drunken stupor, drinking green beers, and I'm going to call them Irish slammers from now on so that I don't offend any Irish people. But, blasting, flogging Molly, the Pogues, Dropkick Murphys with my Uncle Dave and his best friend, Henry Vance. Shout out to Doug. I hope you're watching, brother. A long time ago, I lost my friend Henry. It's been a while. That one's healed. But this past year, I lost my Uncle Dave. And Dave was one of those, super Irish guys. He secretly rooted for Notre Dame. I don't know why, but he was a Buckeye, true and true. But every St. Paddy's Day for probably 10 years running, I met Dave and Henry at some odd, weird bar at 6, maybe 6:30 in the morning for, kegs and eggs and, lots of Irish slammers. I'm going to be PC until I drink too much and am not. But anyway, so my Uncle Dave, he ended it, the end of his life was in a rest home because he was going through some dementia, which was unofficially diagnosed CTE, which is kind of why I kind of nosedived into learning about that disease this past year and understanding how I'm probably affected by it in some way, shape, or form. So the fact that he probably had CTE, I believe that they sent his body away after he died, and we never really got a proper send-off. So that brings us to tonight. Tonight, we're going to honor St. Patrick. We are going to tell some jokes, but we're also going to throw a kick-ass fucking wake for Dave Bailey. All right, everybody, let's cheers for Dave Bailey. All right. So now that depressing stuff's out of the way. All right. So my podcast is called Bad Breaks. And it's basically about the good and the bad breaks of life. So I'm going to, as a celebration of this holiday, I'm going to start off by saying, after decades of wearing green and partying like a true Irishman, all right, between you and me, my real last name is actually Bailey. So I grew up thinking, I'm Irish as hell, right? So my sister recently went, down the genealogy trail, and I submitted the DNA for ancestry and everything, and turns out we're not Irish. We are overwhelmingly Scottish. Actually, we are direct descendants of William Wallace. So later on during the open mic, if I paint half my face blue and start yelling freedom, just know it runs in the family. All right, and once again, speaking of open mics, which the open mic list is over here, we do have a fun first person that's entered in that. I did see her walk in somewhere. Yeah. All right, so that is to come later. But, all right, last Thursday, I just felt like writing. So I ended up writing a pretty tight 5-minute set. And in the process of that, I ended up talking to about 95% of like my best friends that I had in high school. And it was mainly to get clearance for those jokes because it tells a story that, might not be the best thing for, 40-something people to share with their kids. So I requested permission, and then I went to an open mic at the Fuck Brew or the Fuck Beer Company, which love the name. It's totally on brand for Buster Chestnut. So, I walked in there, did my set, felt good, but I knew of another open mic down the street. By the way, this was on High Street, all right? High Street, Columbus, Ohio. So I ended up walking down the street. I felt lucky. Felt lucky that night, which is odd because I never feel lucky about anything. But anyway, so I go down to #Comedy Club, which I had never been before, and I threw my name in the bucket. All right, I thought about, full disclosure, I thought about like spraying some hairspray or like getting something a little sticky on it, just like making sure that their hand connected and. We got music. All right. But anyway, so like my name got called. So I ended up waiting about an hour and a half, which was all right because it gave me the time to schmooze being a producer and, trying to talk to talent, try and get some of the best talent out here in Hilliard like we always do every week on Tuesday. And then the other, probably half hour in that, I was frantically trying to do mental gymnastics, trying to cut down a 5-minute set down to 3. Yeah, the hustle never stops. All right, so now we're going to get into everybody's least favorite portion of the evening. We're going to open some cards. There is not a possibility of that in any of these bets. Just saying. All right, so I'm going to be lame. We're going to be searching for green parallels. But also, we're going to search for any fighting, Irish alumni guys, whatever, from this NFL pack, and generically Boston Celtics from this NBA pack. I told you it'd be easy. Real quick, before I get started, they're not a sponsor, but I'd love them to be. So you should drink garage beer whenever you can. Thank you. All right, audience choice, basketball or football first? Football! Hut, hut. I know people are tired of hearing this, but I did play football for like 15 years. So that's why I enjoy the sport. I would never let a child play that sport. It's way too much. I fucked my head up real bad. All right. So once again, we're looking for green parallels, and I'm only going to show off anything good because these packs can be very brutal, hence bad breaks. All right. Caden Ellis, Warren Moon in a Chiefs uniform, which is just weird. Here, look. Hold on, I forgot something. I brought a discard bucket this time, just in case. All right. Yeah, Caden Ellis, nope. Art, what? This is the weirdest pack ever. All right. Archie Manning in an Oilers uniform. And any cards you don't want, just please put in the discard bucket. You can have it. I don't care. All right. Yeah, will we get there? Yeah. All right. Chris Chambers, nah. Steven Jackson, nah. Nico Collins. Do you want it, Michael? He went to your school, I think. I mean, it's going in the bucket. Terrence Ferguson, nah. Eric Ayo Manor. DeAndre Swift. That is a silver parallel. These are the fancy ones, but I don't know anybody that collects DeAndre Swift. Tarheeb Still. That's a red, white, and blue parallel. A little patriotic. Brandon Fisk. I'm just going to say Tet McMillan because I have no idea how to actually pronounce his name. Oh, we did. We hit some green, guys. We hit a green Xavier Worthy. Not really worth anything, but it's a green shot, and it is fun to look at it. Hold on. If anyone would like to look at this, I really don't care about it because I'm not an Xavier Worthy fan. All right, and then we got a prismatic Randy Moss. At least we got an insert. That's fun. And then we got a green fractal Caleb Williams. Not a rookie, but it's green. Woo! Putting it in the win pile. All right, just a little bit to go. Little bit. All right, green parallels or Boston Celtics, and we win. We got Evan Mobley, which is a Cavalier, which that's something. DeJounte Murray, never heard him. LaMelo Ball. Jabari Smith. Jalen Welton, doing nothing for you. Andrew Wiggins, I heard he's a nice guy. Santi Aldama. That's a fun name. All right, and we have a parallel, which is a Jalen Johnson Midnight. That's fun. I like the blackout card. All right, and we continue. We got an 8-bit baller of Carter Bryant. Never heard of him. Micah Peavy. Carmelo Anthony on the throwback. Bernard King on the throwback. And we didn't get a single Celtics. So my bad luck, well, I always thought that I just had bad Irish luck. Come to find out, I just have bad Scottish luck. So here we are. All right, do you want to look through the cards again? So since I'm done with the cards, we're just going to flip this right around. And it's going to be a tip bucket now. So if anybody wants to tip, feel free. Or feel very generous. Speaking of tips, make sure you tip your bartender, Gina. She is doing an awesome job and always does. She treats us well here on Tuesday nights. All right. So we're going to get my not so funny, but off the stage. And we're going to bring up a real comedian for a change. I mean, we got plenty of talent tonight. But our first is, all right. Does anybody actually have a green beer? I wrote down, get your green beers ready, but nobody's drinking them. All right. Well, get your non-green beers ready for touche. For our first comic tonight, a guy who knows more about football than I know about hiding my WNBA collection from my wife. He's the hilarious co-host of From the Deep and Faces Change podcast, where he regularly drops hot takes on everything from the gridiron to actual dinosaurs. Take note, Tim, from Over the Years Sports. If you are looking to strike gold tonight, this set is a great place to start. Give it up for the human four-leaf clover, Jack Warner III.
Man, how we doing? How we doing, people? You know what? Hey, everybody, real quick. You know, this is beautiful. This ain't a Friday night. This ain't a Saturday night. This is a Tuesday night on St. Patrick's Day. Give yourself a round of applause real quick for being out on a Tuesday. Come on now. Man, it feels good, man. It does. Shit, I like St. Patrick's Day, dude. I really do, because I think St. Patrick's Day is like the one, like we deserve a holiday like this. You know what I'm saying? We do. We get to drink. We get to forget all of our problems. You know, especially if it's on a Tuesday. Everyone wants St. Patrick's Day to be on a Saturday. Nah, fuck that. Put that bitch on Tuesday, Wednesday. Sorry, I'm cussing. You're going to get that from me. It really is. But we work too hard, y'all. We do. Anybody in here got a regular old 9 to 5 making their weeks drag out, man? Anybody in here got a regular ass job? I was about to say half of y'all ain't got no job. That's crazy. Hey, man, have a good time, I guess. Godspeed. No, but for real, man. My weeks got long as soon as your boy got himself a regular 9 to 5, man. It really is. And, you know, no one told me a 9 to 5 was going to be a scam, too, right? It's a scam. You work your ass off and your boss gets paid. Isn't that nice? You know, swear to God, man, I wish someone would have told me that. See, I blame my grandmother for this shit. You know, my grandma, whether it wasn't like normal grandma, you know, like everyone in here probably got some grandma that's all sweet and decrepit. If you try hard enough, honey, you'll be an astronaut or a cowboy. Nah, man, my grandma was a big old mean broad. You know what I mean? She was. I say that with purpose, man. See, my grandma was one of those grandmas, you know, she walked like this too, like everywhere she went, she looked like she needed baby powder. You know what I'm saying? Big bitch. I love her to death. You know, she used to flap her arms, man. She had the lunch lady arms. She'd fly away. I love my grandma, man. See, my grandma, man, she looked like one of them grandmas that like brought that thunder and lightning into the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? She was putting up triple doubles, double doubles. Speaking of all the cards he pulled up, man, my grandma needs a card. She was putting up crazy Hall of Fame numbers in the kitchen. She was. Now my grandma looks like, you know, Michael Jordan in a Wizards uniform in the kitchen. It's a sad thing, man. Look at that. Twin Towers fell down. Watch out. It's a sad thing now, man. It is. But my grandma, man, she a big brother. Like I said, man, the 9 to 5 thing came from her. I blame her for not telling me it's a scam. See, I used to be a bad kid growing up, man. My grandma used to grab me up with the big ass hands. Grandma, what you doing? You need to straighten up, boy, and get yourself a 9 to 5. That was her real voice, by the way. I'm like, Grandma, what's a 9 to 5? You gonna work in the air conditioning? And I said, air conditioning? Say less. Get the fuck off me, Grandma. Isn't that crazy that you know you come from somewhere rough when someone offers you a job in air conditioning and you're like, yes, that's perfect. You know what I'm saying? Man, you know what? Like, if you can't tell by looking at me, 9 to 5 is a big deal to me, man. I grew up in a trailer park, dude. We celebrate GED, so 9 to 5 is called breaking barriers, y'all. It really is. Breaking barriers. You know, like, you know, my family did not, they were so excited when I got a job. Sorry, I'm fucking coughing up. I've been drinking too. But everyone was so excited when I got my 9 to 5, man. The whole trailer park started partying. Everyone started dancing, threw me a parade. No one was more hyped up than my old man, dude. My dad came jumping out of the double-wide trailer park, man, like a meth-headed Spider-Man, dancing and shit. You know, he looked like Grandpa Joe from Willy Wonka. You know what I'm saying? Like the money was his. Man, you know, we can all agree Grandpa Joe wasn't shit, was he? He wasn't, man. He spent 20 years doing all that do-diddly dancing. You know what I'm saying? It's St. Patrick's Day. I fucking do some do-diddly dancing for some green beers right now. You know what I mean? Man, but my daddy, he a good dude. He is. Y'all ever met somebody that sounds like they look and they look like they sound? Like, usually it's a big dude with a deep voice. Like, hey, baby, how you doing? Not my daddy, man. My dad's like 5 foot tall. He's got a mullet, no teeth, 6th grade education. And he sounds like it, too. You know, so, like, I'm trying to explain the job to my dad, you know, trying to break these barriers. I'm like, yo, Dad, look, I got benefits. He goes, you got benefits? See, my dad kind of sounds like a redneck Mike Tyson when he gets all excited. You know what I'm saying? He really does. And I'm like, yo, Dad, look at, man, I got PTO. He goes, PTO, what that then for? Paid time off, man. What you talking about, man? Your boys finally got paid time off at a job. My dad looks me dead in my eyes. He goes, paid time off. Is that shit legal? Man, breaking barriers, y'all. I told you, breaking barriers. You know, I got some wild family, though, man. I'm making fun of my daddy. My dad does, man. Everyone in my family sounds like my dad. I tell everyone I'm bilingual at this point. He wants a beer and a pack of cigarettes. Simple. You know, and I'm talking shit, but man, I got wild parents. Anybody else in here got some wild ass parents in the house? Yeah. Hell yeah, man. See, I got young parents, man. So young that I graduated high school twice. You know what I mean? I'm in 2 different yearbooks, 15 years apart. Like, Shit's crazy. You know, my mama couldn't be any more different. My mama's what you call a trailer park queen. You know, she's beautiful, man. So I look at my dad, I look at my mom, I'm like, I don't even know how this worked out to make me. Like, I don't even think they've ever even talked to each other. You know what I'm saying? My mom, though, shout out to her. She calls herself the admirable hoe. You know, she does. And I'm glad my mom's a hoe, because if she wasn't a hoe, she wouldn't have had me to go talk to you people. You know, I think that's beautiful about life. You know what I mean? Like, even tonight, we're drinking. Some people might, you know, make a baby or two. That's what's beautiful, man. A little bit of hoeing, a little bit of drinking. Yeah, boof, life. You know what I'm saying? Hey, there you go. Mistake life. I have been, I've been a mistake for a long time. But it really is, no. My mom's crazy, man. Due to our lack of age gap, we were pretty open with each other. You know, we get to talk about anything. You know, I always joke with my mama, if she was better at this, she wouldn't have had this. You know what I'm saying? Like, swear to God. And shout out to anybody that can suck one, man. I couldn't do it personally. I really couldn't. You know, and I'm a straight male with a fiance doing my thing, but it's not about that. It's the logistics that scare me. Like, man, I can't even brush my teeth without my life being on the line for a short bit. You know what I mean? I'm sitting there just having a normal morning going, put that image in your brain, you know? I can't even find the center of a Tootsie Pop without my eyes watering, dude. You know what I mean? Come on, now I ain't built for that. I'm not. My mom used to say crazy shit to me, all righteous, too. She's like, man, they say pimping ain't easy, but no one's worried about the hoe. I'm like, what are you talking about, Mom? I'm going to basketball practice today. And she gets all jealous of the OnlyFans people, too. I'm like, Mom, you're just jealous because you couldn't do that back in the day, man. I wish my mom did have an OnlyFans. My life would have been way different. I would have had so much money. It would have been a blast. It really would. Man. You know what? I'm making fun of my family, man, but I love where I come from. I do. If you're from anywhere simple time, simple shit, it's nice. You miss it after a while. You know? You're supposed to break barriers, but you miss the simple times. You know? And my past, though, it catches up to me. See, I went from the trailer park to living in New Albany. That's a big adjustment. You know how nice it is to be the most dangerous guy on your block 24/7? Like, I walk by someone's house, they lock the doors. That's nice. That's beautiful. It is. But my past, it catches up to me. Y'all ever seen Spider-Man with the Green Goblin mask talking to William Dafoe? I got that too. That's called my white trash side. It comes out, man. And New Albany's making me soft now. So I got introduced to a thing called brunch. Y'all ever done brunch before? That's just nice. You know you're going to a nice brunch spot when they got like all the yard work all over the wall too. Like, it's nice. I got introduced to some mimosas. You know, mimosas, man, that shit's beautiful. I never knew what that was. So I'd be in New Albany having mimosas, finding my inner self, and that trash mask comes out. I'm getting a buzz, 2 o'clock, eating some stuffed French toast. Next thing you know, I hear Marlboro Reds. What the fuck? And it comes out at other times. I try to buy wine for my lady now. You know what I'm saying? Because my lady's why we live in New Albany. It's not because I'm doing jokes like this up here right now, you know. But like, I try to buy wine for her. So I went to the gas station to buy some wine. Now, I understand that's my first problem. It's going to the gas station for wine. But I'm looking at this shit. I'm like, all right, we got red wine. We got white wine. We got blends. I don't know what that is. And then in the back of my head, Budweiser. See, I'm a fucking fraud at this point. I really am. Like, I look like the type of guy that drives a lifted pickup truck. No, bro, I drive my fucking fiance's bought-off white Honda CR-V. Can you imagine that bitch lifted? I'm a fucking fraud, dude. I am. But my white trash side, it comes out different times of the year. Of course, it comes out during St. Patrick's Day. It's a beautiful time. It comes out during Memorial Day, of course. And also, like, during 4th of July, I have a big problem, y'all. Because I hear a big old, you know, boom going off, and I start scratching myself, dude, like a crackhead. I got to blow something up. I can't help it. I can't. And other times of the year it comes out, a lot of people don't like stereotypes. Being who I am, I love stereotypes. I love the Daytona 500. I don't give a fuck what people say. I do. But in my family, the Daytona 500 makes people sad now, you know, because of, you know, Dale Earnhardt passing and all that. And my family kind of treats it like a funeral. You know, I'd like to explain my situation with this. When I watched Dale Earnhardt die at Ground Zero. Now, we couldn't afford race tickets. I watched Dale Earnhardt die living in a trailer park. For those of you that don't understand, that was my people's 9/11, dude. You know what I mean? Where were you when that shit happened? You know, I saw women crying, men crying, dude. I was sitting there as a little kid, like, what the fuck's going on? Everyone's crying. My dad's yelling, he gone, he gone. I'm like, what the fuck? Man. And yeah, there you go. Elvis, too. That's another one. We talk about the Mount Rushmore of white trash. Let's get after it. Yes, exactly. Oh my, and I always wondered, like, why'd that shit bother us, right? Like, why did it bother us when these people passed? Why did it feel like a family member? I think it's because we don't have good role models. If you're from anywhere rough, your role models suck. It's all athletes and celebrities. All I had growing up was Eminem and Dr. Phil. And Dr. Phil wasn't even a doctor back then. When you were a little kid and they asked you what you want to be when you grow up and you wrote it down, most people put doctor, teacher, astronaut, cowboy. I wrote down Bob Barker. I thought that was I thought that was nice. I'm like, dude, I don't want to work hard. I want to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? Put me on the Wheel of Fortune too. That sounds dope. Now, Jeopardy might be a little tough for me. You know what I'm saying? It might be a little tough. But we have bad role models, man. We really do. And here we are on St. Patrick's Day hanging out, man, having a good old fucking time. You guys having a good time tonight on St. Patrick's Day? Man, it's nice. It is. I was thinking about it earlier today with the whole leprechaun thing. Like, to be honest with you, man, if I ran into a leprechaun at the end of a rainbow with some gold on it, the economy is kind of tough, bro. I might beat his ass. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying, man. That shit would terrify me. I think about the movie Leprechaun, not the fucking Lucky Charms dude up there. Like, you know what I mean? Ain't no way he's that nice. And speaking of mythical creatures real quick, you got Leprechaun, you got Bigfoot. My people, we believe in it. We do. I even got some uncles that consider that a career to go look for. And then, then you got Loch Ness Monster. My favorite mythical creature, though, is a trailer park cat. You guys heard of them. They're crazy. Yeah. They kill small boys damn near. They're terrifying. And it makes me think, if someone acted like a cat, like as a human, wouldn't that be crazy? Like you, sir, right there, real nice. Well, if you looked at me and said, you know what, dude, shut up. And I go, and I start doing that little fucking hit thing at you, that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. Wouldn't it be nice, too? Wouldn't it be nice, too, if you knew your woman was in heat? She's just lifting her ass up. That'd be nice on 3 Day Signs. You know what, man? I'm Jack Warner III, man. Thank you so much. They call me the Prince of White Trash. They call me Trailer Park Royalty. I end every show the same way. When I yell rest in peace, can you guys do me a favor and yell Toby Keith? Come on now. Ready? Rest in peace. Amen, and have a good night. God bless.
All right, keep it going. For Jack Warner III. Turn my mic off. So just a reminder, there is an open mic sign-up list right here at the corner. Don't be shy. It is St. Paddy's Day, and we're going to have a good time. So real quick, I just wanted to share another small victory that I had this week. So last night, I went to an open mic at Cafe Bourbon Street, and, I guess the first part of it wasn't a win. I got a really clean set, but it only recorded me in, like, the smallest corner of the frame. So I had to do some editing magic. I got that posted. But after that, I went to another open mic, and that person, I'm going to call you out right now because you better show up next week, Matt Cook. Did a trade for a trade. I said I'd stop by and do his open mic if he would come here next week. So I stopped by this place in Grandview called Mickey's. I don't know if you're familiar. Yeah, it does. And like the floor and the bathroom's a little sketchy, but they only take hats. That is weird. Sounds like a front. Well, not as good as the Leaping Lizard on Thursdays and Saturday nights. And what you added a day, didn't you? Sundays as well. But anyway, back to my story. So I got a moment of yes when I got to that open mic because I decided I had a clean set that I had recorded. So I went off the cuff a little bit. There we go. I'll turn it away from my thumb. So when I got there, I decided I'm going to go off the cuff, do a little crowd work. Not necessarily crowd work. I took some notes about everybody in the bar, and it was kind of like a mini roast. But one person that was in the audience was one of the only internet trolls that I've had to deal with since I've done this comedy thing. when I started this, I was not a comedian. I was not a producer. I was not a digital flyer designer. But I am pretty good at advertising, and I was running some ads, and I see the clicks, see the click throughs, but I only got one comment the entire time, and it was just a random wild. Took note of the name, put that in my back pocket, and that came into play last night, and it was glorious. But anyway, I wanted to end that roast there, so I won't retell that joke. But if you'd like to see that set, check out the Bailey Digital Media YouTube page. Yes, it's a shameless plug, always. Because I did post that at 7 p.m. tonight. So go check that out, subscribe, and then if you're not here on a Tuesday night, you can watch it at home. Okay, are we ready, sir? All right, I am going to try not to screw this up because this man deserves all the credit that he deserves. All right, so keep those green or non-green beers flowing, Hilliard. Our next comic is an absolute legend from down in Chillicothe. He's a retired doctor and a military veteran, which means he's fully qualified to triage your massive St. Paddy's Day hangovers that you're all building right now. After taking a 20-year hiatus from the stage, he came back swinging and absolutely crushed it on Kill Tony. He's got more wild stories than a leprechaun and a pub crawl. He's twice as dangerous. Give a huge St. Paddy's welcome to the good doctor, Frank Demint.
How y'all doing, Leaping Lizard? I'm the oldest comic you're going to see tonight. I'm so old my back gets stiff more than my dick. I am so old I have to lube my joints more than my dick. I am so old I use National Geographic magazine to masturbate to. Now I watch Pornhub not to masturbate but to reminisce. I started eating pussy at the age of 13. My tongue became muscle bound. That's why I sound like this. That's the only holiday, St. Patrick's Day, that I feel comfortable with. They say, what's wrong with him? This time of year, they're like, he's really culturally involved. Anyway, yeah, I don't have a speech impairment. I have a limited edition accent. Only a few of us are chosen. Little known fact, Abraham had a list. The chosen people were the Jews. It was those of us with a list. What do you call someone with a list? A listful? How about a group of people with lists? Listfuls or listfultarians? Neither one sounds very good, does it? I don't mean to whistle when I talk. It's my tongue. Please stop. My lisp isn't speech impediment. It's a built-in sound effect. Yeah, I'm a human spray bottle. If you get too close, we have a Gallagher show going. Guess it's a little trouble over here. My dentist asked me if I floss my teeth. I said only when I say the word floss, and I do it twice a day. And don't get me started on birthday candles. When I blow them out, someone's calling female the CDC. Most people leave a condensation on, leave smudges on glasses. I leave condensation. I gave an inspiration speech to a friend before a big job interview. Said it was inspiring, but also very humid. I tried to use Siri the other day. She thought I was trying to summon the snake. I was out on a date the other day. The girl said, "You have such a unique voice." That's list code for I'm trying to figure out what that last vowel was. Having a list is like being given a microphone that plays only in stereo and spits in your face. My asses don't just ass, they slap. When I say succulent sandwich, it sounds like I'm pressure washing a sidewalk. I could be a store Santa and I could save on overhead because I wouldn't have to buy alcohol to sound drunk. People say I should get speech therapy. I say, why would I pay someone to change my personality? I was in the U.S. Army. I had signed up to be a medical lab tech, but during induction, military intelligence, an oxymoron if I've ever heard one, wanted to talk to me. So I went and talked to them. They wanted me to go in linguistics. I said, what? I'm not fucking this language up bad enough? Maybe I fuck up another one? And while we're at it, I don't think radio operator or air traffic controller would be good choices either. I'd kill more people than the terrorists. I certainly would. Didn't you notice I sound something like the love child of Barbara Walters in my type? Something between the bishop on Princess Bride and Very Crypty, a Big Bang Theory, and maybe a little Elmer Fudd. Where's that rascally rabbit? I really don't hear my speech impediment myself when I'm speaking, but if someone records me unbeknownst to me and plays it back, I'm like, who's that stupid motherfucker? Embarrassing as hell getting catfished by your own voice. My mother, she didn't help me out much. She named my brother Nick. I can pronounce Nick. She named me Frank. But it could have been worse. It could have been Francis or Francisco or worse of all, Roy. How about my last name had been O'Reilly? Roy O'Reilly and his brother Corey. While I was in the Army, I finished up my bachelor's degree and waited to the very end to take my foreign language requirement for, well, obvious reasons. First, I thought about French. I thought that nasal sound might cover up my list. Bonjour, sacre bleu, rendezvous. No, that just made me more incompetent. Then I thought about Spanish, but then I realized I can roll a joint both times. But I can't roll it all. Sounds something like this. Oh, sound like a boss rapper. So I took sign language. I'll show you here. If you didn't get that, that was pussy, but my hand also has a list. Such a shame. As I've gotten older, people mistake my speech impairment for an accent. And I wish I had thought about that in high school, because in high school, when you have a lisp and accent, you ain't getting no pussy. It's just not fucking happening. But I could have told a good story. I could say I'm from Transmania, southeast of Romania. Our major exports are dildos and pocket pussies. I'd just be beating them off. There's 3 words I say that most people don't understand. For, willed, and well. You don't understand a single one of those fucking words, did you? And the problem is I like my steak medium well. Waitress looks at me all confused, says, you want that well done? I said, no, I don't want shoe leather. I want it red in the middle, but that didn't help much either, did it? But after a minute or two, we usually get the order right. But recently I was in the restaurant, waitress got my order right off the bat. I was dumbfounded. I was bewildered. Then I realized I was in a Chinese restaurant. Then they served me medium well cat. Restaurant was in Springfield. Yes, it was. Another thing about having a list, it's sort of like having a gay doll jammer, especially when I told her. People just thought you were gay when you had the list. Like for instance, in high school, when a girl wasn't interested in a guy, I'm sure you heard this one a time or two. You know, I think of you as my brother. I think of you as my gay friend. And yeah, I had gay guys hit up on me, and yeah, I flirted back with who doesn't like free drinks, ladies, huh? But so boomed whack round on me because when I was a young man, I was attracted to female celebrities that ended up being lesbians, like Rosie O'Donnell, Ellen DeGeneres, and Hillary Clinton. So does that make me a trans lesbian, or do I get to keep my original equipment? Yes, I have questions. Yes, I have questions. Many black comics in the comic community call me Uncle Frank. As you all know, it's a term of endearment, but I think they really do it because they know I could outsmoke Snoop Dogg. I'd be a Rastafaran except for the fact that I can't pronounce it. White men just don't look good in dreads. We just don't. And deep down inside, they know there's no way I can say the N word with a hard R. Just can't do it. Just can't do it. There was this one time my wife and I and her brothers and their wife, well, my ex-wife actually, but we'll get to that in a second, was making a trip down to Florida. My ex-wife was driving, she's getting off the right side of the road, getting those bumps going. And his brother Jeff, sitting behind her next to me, started laughing at our stuff. She turned around and said, "What's so fucking funny, Jeff?" I looked up at her and said, "He wants me to say rumble strip." Fucking prick. Talking about pricks. Who's the prick that put the S in list, huh? I think it was Shakespeare. The slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, motherfucker. And who's the asshole over at Apple that came up with Siri, huh? Thinking some pothead computer geek thinking of a guy like me saying, "Siri, where is Wally White, the real White? Siri, where is Roberta's Womber Room and Rotisserie? Siri, where is Sally Seashell? She shack." Yeah, I recently got divorced. No shoes for that? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, ladies, that sweet piece of man candy's available. Don't watch the stage. Only got a few minutes. I thought I did everything I could to make the marriage last. I got her flowers. So many flowers, she'd let them die on the kitchen counter before putting them in the vase. I got her chocolates because she loved chocolates, but she thought I was trying to kill her because she was diabetic. I assured her it was too slow, just too slow. I did 80% of the housework, 90% of the cooking. Looking a whole lot better now, ain't I, girls? But she still wouldn't give out on the pussy, just would not. She didn't even know I'd eat that pussy, but I did draw the line of eating ass. I'll put my dick in there, but I ain't put my tongue in there. Just ain't going to do it. Ain't going to do it. I had a young black man come up to me after I told that joke one time, said, "We clean it out real good." First I said, "Well, clean out good enough for me. You'd have to do 2 colonoscopy preps." And that's just too much work, too much work. But it astounded me because when I was a young man, the stereotype was white black men didn't eat pussy. Now they're eating ass. That's what we call progress, folks. That's progress. All righty. Let's see where do I want to go from here. I'm a bit of a free thinker. I just like to question things every now and then. Like when Isaac came down from the mountain with Abraham after that unfortunate sacrifice situation, did he ever sleep with both eyes closed again? When Jesus turned water into wine, did he make it Manish Shevitz or Mogan David? And if it was Mogan David, was it Mad Dog 2020? Just want to know these things. But the thing I question most is Islam and the 72 virgins. First of all, why 72? Why not 75 or 100? Something that rolls off the tongue a little better, like I have anything to say about what rolls off the tongue better. And why virgins? Well, you want to go through all eternity with, "Hey, bitch, watch the teeth, watch the teeth." I don't think so. As I've enumerated here and in the past, I got some fucking to catch up on the other side. I don't want 72 virgins. I want 72 whores. Yes, I want women to know what the fuck they're doing. I think you're closest to God when you're having sex, because its name's not evoked more than during the act of sex. Oh, God. Oh, God. And I know you Christians throw in a Jesus every now and then. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. And I'm sure the Jews throw in a Moses every now and then. Oh, Moses. Oh, holy Moses. And I'm sure the Muslims throw in a Muhammad every now and then. Oh, Muhammad, peace be upon you. Now I understand the 72 virgins. I'm going to end on this one. I look like Duck Dynasty and sound like Daffy Duck. I look like Gandalf and sound like his retarded brother. I look like Jack Black and sound like Sylvester the Cat, suffering succotash. I look like Jerry Garcia and sound like I'm on an acid trip. I look like Ron Jeremy and sound like him with a dick in his mouth. But I can't suck my own dick, because if I could, I wouldn't be here. And I wouldn't be this fat, because I know no one could suck my dick better than me, because no one knows me better than me. That's been my time. I've been Frank a bit. I do have some t-shirts for sale. That. So I appreciate if you buy one. Who has a small? Well, small can have that one. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you very much.
Thank you again, Frank Demint. All right. Did everybody enjoy Frank's set? All right, that's like the third time I've seen Frank, and I've enjoyed it every single time. You may have seen me over here chuckling. I do have to admit that I did have a stutter, and I was gonna do a character like 15 years ago that probably was not PC, and it was a rapper who did have a lisp named Lispy Steve, and I feel horrible about that, but I've come to terms with it because that's never gonna happen because I have too much respect for people like my buddy Frank. All right. Normally I would take a break, but I see my friend Frank, just frantically running back and forth. Do you want to take a break or? I think we're going to keep rolling right into it. All right. So it is time for our headliner. You saw the flyer of him looking like a terrifying leprechaun. That is because he is a fan of horror, and I really wanted to make somebody into a leprechaun. So it doesn't really look like Jesse, but we had a little fun with it, didn't we? He's just as cosmic in real life. Coming down from Youngstown, coming down from Youngstown, this guy is a whirlwind of lovable chaos known as the Hot Mess. He's got an award-winning special streaming on Amazon Prime and Roku called Spooky, which is all about the terrors of marriage and the fears of becoming a dad. Something that I can definitely relate to even more as we prepare for baby number 2. Yes, number 2. I don't have a name for him yet. He is the true pot of gold at the end of the Phygital Nights rainbow tonight. Raise your glasses and make some noise for the one, the only, Jesse Pimpinella.
Oh, you guys are overwhelmingly in love with me. Thank you guys so much for no claps. That was awesome. I will go fuck off then, I guess. How you guys doing on your St. Paddy's Day? You guys doing good? I saw someone drinking green beer. Is he drinking green beer over there? You gotta be careful with green beer. You look like you mouth fuck Kermit. You know what I mean? You gotta be careful with that. But that's awesome, man. That's good. I've got cameras and everything. Everybody saw it talking a little bit, so that's pretty cool. But thank you guys so much. Yeah, my name is Jesse Pimpinella. Everybody asks me, is Pimp your real name? Yeah, Pimpinella is my name. But everybody's like, oh, man, you're a pimp, man. You got pimp in your name? You're a pimp? You good with the ladies? I ain't good with the ladies. I've got big dick energy. I wish I had big dick energy, all right? I remember I got a hand job from my wife one time. She thought she was reading Braille, all right? It was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Oh, man, this is not good. This ain't good. Everybody raise a glass. Say, Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. All right, good. We got a bunch of people that left here. That's pretty awesome. We got a few people left. That's awesome. We got Jack Warner's group over there. How you guys doing? Give it up for Jack, everybody. Give it up for him. Oh, my God. Jack delivered a great set. Let's give it up for Frank, everybody. Give it up for Frank. I'm excited, man. I'll tell you, I'm excited. I'm 30. I'm married. I'm having a good time. And I still sleep with a CPAP machine. Goose, who's a sexy bitch in this house? Yeah. Hey, CPAP people over here. Anybody? Oh, yeah. Dude, I could hear him breathing over here. Every night, my wife's got to see that. Oh, yeah. Does my green beard daddy over there, does he wear a CPAP? No, he doesn't? Because he's fit shit, right? Yeah. No, I got to wear this every time. Listen, I don't care how spicy it gets between me and my wife. When the mask goes on, sex ain't happening, all right? The mood is over. Putting this thing on is like thrusting 3 times and farting. My bad, baby. I'm sorry, baby. I'm excited. My wife and I, we're thinking about having kids. Anybody have kids in this room? Round of applause, you got kids. Yes. How many kids you got? How many kids? 4 kids? All right. How about you guys? Does Jack's group have any kids? 0. Yeah. Let them die at the reservoir tip of the condom. Let's go. Yeah. Look, I mean, listen, my wife and I, we're going to have a baby. All right. We're having a baby. Yeah. Because everyone told me growing up I'm good at making mistakes. And I can say that because I am a mistake, all right? My parents were trying to get a girl. Boy, then they got my sister, all right? And listen, my mom has given up on me. I'm a bad child. I'm on St. Paddy's Day telling dirty jokes, all right? And my mom's like, oh, my God, you such waste of potential. You were an altar boy. I was not an altar boy because I waited until marriage. I could say that. My body, my choice. My whole, my soul. All right? Get away, Gallagher. Get away, Gallagher. All right. All right. But it ain't true where all the settlements come from. You know what I mean? Let's figure it out. We're just talking. We're just making things up at this rate. All right. That's good stuff. Yeah, but no, I want to, like, the kid thing is awesome, man. I want to do, like, movie nights with my kids when I grow up. You guys remember when your parents brought you to the movie store? Remember when you had to go get the movie? That's the best feeling in the world. Blockbusters, family videos. Let me hear where the real OGs are. Be kind. There you go. Hey! Give her some. Yeah! Because I went to family videos. Because family videos was the place where families got videos for family video night. And I think it's a stretch. To call yourself family videos. And then have a porno section in the back. Yeah! And they always had the creepy saloon doors. Who the fuck was that for? You're walking in like, yeah, pow, 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 pow. That was my penis. That's how I chose the movies. Just got a black light, and you're like, that one. I wish they would bring video stores back. They're saying that Gen Z is in love with videos, and they want to bring physical media back. I am for it because I want to play my game again. When my wife used to rent videos, I had this fun game with her she hated. Anytime she would rent a movie, I would try to rent the porn parody. And I was good, man. Like, she would be like, Spider-Man, Homecoming. And I'm like, Insider-Man, Homie's coming. Boom, there you go. Driving Miss Daisy. Pile Driving Miss Daisy. Yeah! Which, by the way, Morgan Freeman is in both movies. What a great actor. Just incredible. They're like going at it. He just goes over. And now Landy's taking that long dick. Sodomy. All right. We didn't have to bring in that. We didn't have to do that, but we did it. It's okay. We did it. All right. And we just got to live with it. That's all we got to do. I am excited about having a kid. I really am. But I think I'm too excited. Like, I don't know. Like, when did you, like, for the people that had kids, when did you become excited about having a kid? When you got to have sex? Damn, that could be like, when's the first time you had sex? Okay, okay, don't worry. I was good. Listen, I'm 33 and I'm excited to have a kid. And dude, I got way too excited. My wife was on top of me the other night. I put my legs around her, all right? I was locking her up like an NBA wife. I'm like, come on! You got the job! You make the money! I'm way too excited. That was a new joke. I'm glad that worked. Thank you very much. Hey, that's my wife's like probably watching at home. Hey, hi, how you doing, honey? It's like the worst OnlyFans. Just me, yeah. Oh my God, this is great. This is great. You guys, everybody's taking care today. You guys bring responsibility. Everybody's got Uber designated drivers. Everybody's got that. Yeah. I got drunk friends, man. They've gotten so much trouble because of drinking, man. Oh, one buddy, I remember he was the next morning. He was fucking bullshit, man. I had the worst fucking Uber driver ever. And I'm like, Trevor, that was a cop, and what you were doing to that mailbox was Fleshlight related. Don't do that. All right. Don't do that. Now, sir, you have the green beer. How's the green beer going? You got your green tongue yet? So let's stick it out. Somebody give us a. Is that what green head is? I was telling a joke about it earlier. I was sorry. I want it looks like I ate up Kermit's asshole. You know what I mean? Oh, Kermit. What? Well, then my tongue would be pink, which it is. Don't go into that too much. Don't go into that too much. Let it go. Just let it go. Don't think about it. We're just doing new jokes tonight. But yeah, I am excited about having kids. I am. My wife and I were having fun with the sex. We're 30. We're trying to make sex interesting in our 30s, just as interesting as it was in our 20s. Like in our 20s, we came in that generation of Netflix and chill. Now we do something more interesting. It's called DoorDash and Smash. All right. Yeah. That's where she has to come before the food comes. All right. Yeah. Because I'm a gentleman. I'm going at it. I'm like, yes, yes, Jesus. And then she pulls the phone up. His name is Jesus, you racist. I'm like, shit. Why is he going right? Our house is left. You guys don't keep track of your Uber drivers? That's just me? I'm the weirdo? Okay, I'll pull out. All right, whatever. But no, so growing up, I was kind of prude to sex. I was really nervous about sex growing up. You know what I mean? Like, for example, I wasn't a big fan of blowjobs. No, I'm not. I know he's looking at me like, wait, what? You don't like blowjobs? No, follow me. I feel bad for the woman because here's what happens. She's going down on me. I have a gut, and all of a sudden I see her head going over my gut like she's Wilson from Home Improvement, like, Heidi ho, neighbor. That's me coming. That's how I do it. All right, some of you guys ever watch Nick at Night, and that shows. It shows. Guys were watching George Lopez do a split at midnight. Yeah, that's it. This set is so weird, and I'm having so much fun with it. It's just a weird one. But no, like, and here's the thing, like, my wife, she's 32, but she had something called fibromyalgia and arthritis. She got it when she was 16, and she also has immunocompromised. She has a compromised immune system, so it's very hard sometimes having sex because the impact can cause her hip to flare up, and it can be very bad. It can really hurt her. So I go on the internet like a good lover, and I look up how to have sex with a woman with a bad hip. And now my algorithm is only AARP now. I go on the porn sites, and it's like, did you mean granny porn? I'm like, no! Would you like to watch Cougars and Crutches? Well, of course I want to watch Cougars and Crutches. Who's not watching Cougars and Crutches, all right? Who's not? And the worst part is all the articles like I got for the sex stuff, it was very like, if you want to turn her on, make sure you kiss her right here on the neck, but don't go too low because you'll hit her life alert. Unless you want people to show up, you little pervert. Is that what you want? That's what you want? Screw Netflix and chill. Screw DoorDash and Smash. It's life alert and squirt. Let's go! Wait, what happened? Life. So wait, when I said life alert and squirt, that reminded her. That is the best thing that could have happened tonight. I said life alert squirt, and they're like, "Oh, Bondi, she should have came out tonight." That is brilliant. That is brilliant. I fucking love that. I love that. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Oh, man. Let's see what else. What else can we have a little fun with tonight? All right. Yeah, but yeah, no, I'm trying to do the kid thing. I love doing that. I want to, like I said, have kids. I want to be a good father. I want to be a good parent. I don't know how to do that, man. My parents, like, I came from a very, very drunk family. All right, we love drinking and everything, and that's where I got advice when relatives got drunk. You know what I'm talking about? That's where you got the best unsolicited advice. I remember marriage. Jesse, get over here. Marriage is like a prison. It's only funny if you're making somebody a bitch. Now blow out your candles. Happy 6th birthday. Happy birthday to you. Like literally, like. And here's the thing, I come from an Italian family, which you're not supposed to say that on St. Paddy's Day. Mom's side, yeah. Yeah, but like, and here's the thing, my grandparents have been married for 60 years, man. 60 years, believe it or not. They met on a dating app. Well, it was called an arranged marriage. That's where instead of swiping left, you swipe people. It's a very different program. It's a very different program. Yeah, no. And it was different back then. Like, see, I was raised by older people, and I was taught, like, romance. You know, the flowers, the poetry. You know, giving a woman flowers. Round of applause, men, if you've ever given your woman flowers. Round of applause. Have you ever given a woman flowers? Is he honest? Is he being honest? Did he give you the flowers? We're buddies? What type of buddies? What type of, and candy? What type of, what, whoa! Oh. Man, this is I'm learning so much from you guys. You guys are great. But no, like, that's the thing. Like, if you look at those old classic movies, Humphrey Bogart giving women flowers, and our generation gives dick pics. What happened? Like, isn't that kind of a crime? Has any woman opened their phone, saw a dick, and was like, ooh, delicious vein cane? Has it ever happened? And they look weird. They look like a one-eyed monster, like they're going to tell you a riddle under a bridge. Like, they look scary. And look, I'll admit it. I've taken a dick pic before. I've done it. No one told me I had to do it by myself. My buddy's holding the camera. All right, come on, Jesse. That's it. Tuck it up. Give me elephant. Woo! All right, that's a good one. I don't know why it's a Polaroid. Did I fuck that up? I fucked that up? That's a good one. But here's the thing. Look, and you got to worry about a lot of things when you're taking the dick pic. Like the lighting, the angle, the dangle. Does it look good? Does it look girthy? And then you got a guy honking behind you because the light is green. I mean, just fuck it. Fuck it, man. I'm trying. Ridiculous. Yeah, I am Catholic, as you can see, not a good one, not a great one. I went to Catholic school growing up, and I was hazed all through high school. Like I was a theater kid. I got hazed by improv kids. That's how bad it was for me. They had these stupid games, the seniors, to test our reflexes. They would yell Christmas tree and see how quick you put your hands on your head. That was the game, to test your reflexes. So freshmen, you yell Christmas tree, freshmen got to put their hands up. So we're going to play that game right now. We're going to see how quick your reflexes are. Ready? 1, 2, 3, Christmas tree, go! And then they pull your pants down, and they pulled my boxers down with it. And trust me, that Christmas tree wasn't trimmed. You know what I'm talking about? It looked a little Chewbacca from Star Wars. Like, what's up, Chewie? How you doing, baby? Go back in there, guy. All right, go back in there, guy. But, like, you know, and it's like, I'll tell you one of the worst stories that happened to me, all right? Now, I was in theater, and I got offered a role that I did not want. They asked me to be Jesus and Jesus Christ Superstar, and I did not want that. You've seen my act. This is not Jesus material here. Judas, maybe, not Jesus. But all I try to do is, if I just get through the show, I don't screw this up, I go to heaven. C+ at best, right? So, and this is a cheap play. We didn't have costumes. We were all wearing black sweats and everything, like, to be very expressive in this cheap world we live in. And anyways, so I laid down on the ground. They put a cloth over me. Then show's over. I go to heaven. It's great. But with the woman putting the cloth over me, she walked over me in an open skirt. I looked up. Not a Jesus thing to do right there, all right? I was like, hello! And I was wearing sweatpants, remember that. And the last thing anybody wants to see is Jesus rising anywhere else, all right? I was like getting up like, hey, I'm back, guys! Like a kid walking up to the math board to answer the question hard. Could have used 4 days. You know, but that's cool. That's cool, man. All right, well, we're gonna do one last joke. We're gonna get out of here. What? I can go all night? Oh, you're very nice. Thank you very much for saying that. I do have I do have stuff at the end of the show. I got stickers, DVDs, merch stuff, anything that you want. It's pay whatever you want tonight. Pay whatever you want. All right, but the biggest thing is make sure we're tipping our bartender. Give it up for her tonight. Give it up for her, yes. Like I'll be over there, pay whatever you want. I got stickers. I got stickers that say the best marriages end as murder documentaries. Yes, they got a good one. I know you're not watching, you're studying. It's a big difference. It's called studying. Yeah, I know. Dude, my wife. Listen, my wife will get away with my murder. She'll be on one of those cold case shows on Netflix. She'll look right into the camera and go, "I don't know what happened to Jesse. His CPAP just shut off." We're baffled. You know, hold my air to like go sleep, motherfucker. But anyways, all right. So let's round this up. Let's round this up. We've learned a lot today. I'm having kids. I want to have a wife. I'll tell you one. Do I have time to tell one quick story? And I'm out of here. All right. I'm gonna tell you guys a good story. It's embarrassing. Are you guys in for a good embarrassing story? Okay, it's an embarrassing story. All right. Now, before I did comedy, this is my job. I actually, believe it or not, I trained in martial arts and taught martial arts. Yeah. Some of you guys are looking at me like that doesn't sound right at all. You're not much of the fighting type, Jesse. You're more of the fighting type 2 diabetes type. That's not like the Karate Kid meal. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Like, no, I really was. I taught like a fight class growing up. And it was cool. Like I was in a rich neighborhood, and parents would just bring their kids to my class for like a weird discipline thing. Like Declan needs a little bit of maturing, beat him up a little bit. I was like Patrick Swayze at Roadhouse, was about parenting. I'm just kicking the shit out of kids. Like boom, bow, it's great. Because look, hitting kids is wrong. Hitting kids is wrong. Hitting kids with sparring gear is $14.99 with a 2-for-1 Groupon. All right, that's what that is. All right. Now, and here's the thing. We had a lot of Korean. We had to use a lot of Korean. We had to do a lot of Korean ceremonies. But looking at me back at those pictures wearing the Korean garbs, it looked like I was a white guy on MLK Day, Junior Day, going, my man. All right, it didn't look. I just didn't feel right. It was very culturally appropriating. It was a different time, okay? I was like, I was like, racist. Racist. I didn't feel good about that. All right. So I tell you these stories. To tell you this. So I had a student one time ask me, like, Mr. Jesse, can you come to my school talent show and hold a board so I can break it and impress my friends? Now, I should have said no, because this kid couldn't break a hymen with a jackhammer, all right? He could not do it, all right? Yes, I'm sorry. The kid went on to be great things, just not in martial arts, all right? And what I tried to help him with was I took the wooden board. I said yes, and I sawed a light layer into the board so it would snap easily. I was like Tom Brady with Deflategate. It was Breakgate. Let's go, all right? So the night of the show, I have to jump on stage, hold the board. He breaks it. Everything's good. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Like, you're kind of lying to him. But parents lie to their kids. That's a good parent, creating a reality that's better for them. When you, like Christmas morning, you don't walk down their opening presents going, guess who provided this year, motherfuckers? You let Santa have the reward. So I jumped onto the stage with the board. But I didn't realize how slippery the floor was. So I jumped, and the board snapped before he made contact in front of everybody. Dude, it was bad. You wanted to get out of there like it was Kanye showing up to a bar mitzvah bad. They would get the fuck out of here. And he ran off stage crying. This kid in the front row it was in his class. He turns to the audience and goes, he's a fraud! I get off stage. I go, to you, because it couldn't get any worse. I was hoping the light races would make everybody forget the kid screwed up. All right. Anyways, I get backstage. He's crying with his parents. The kid comes up from his parents to me now backstage, holding a card, and the card said, "Thank you for believing in me," which is bullshit because I sawed the board right in half. All right, that joke did not end very well. All right, very good. Basically, I found Jesus that night because I just said every day until that kid graduated high school, I was like, Lord Jesus, please don't let me be the origin story to the next Columbine. Please, Lord Jesus. Oh, is that too dark? Shit. All right, sorry, my bad. My bad, sorry. We'll end on a later. So, anyways, I'll tell you this whole last story. We'll get out of here. You guys having fun out there? All right, so make a note, guys. No Columbine. No matter how drunk they are. Okay, so I'll tell you, one of the things I do when I'm not on the road is I actually dress as a character. I go to like children's hospitals, perform for children, and things called Good Medicine Productions. It's a great thing. Thank you very much. Thank you. I know some of you guys are looking at me like, wait, you're somebody's Make-A-Wish? If I walked into this guy's room, he's like, not John Cena? He's king. He's pulling out his hair tube. God hates me. No, so, like, I was working with this child who's deaf. Now, I don't speak sign language, but I'm Italian, so it looks like I've been trying to land a plane this whole show. So, I looked at the parents, and I go, how do you say squirrels? Because the kid had a stuffed squirrel animal. I want to relate to him. And he goes, squirrels. Squirrels. Now, real quick, words rhyme in sign language. Did you guys know that? Yeah, like this means thank you. Fuck you. That means way too close. So I'm like, squirrels? All right. So I'm like, I love, and I go, squirrels. And the parents go, no! This means fucking, all right? And I try to correct it and go, squirrels, but all the kids saw us, I love fucking squirrels. Like, wait, what? I mean, I love squirrels. Fuck, damn it! They are nature's fleshlight, all right? That's been my time. Thank you guys so much. Josh, everybody.
All right. It is always a pleasure when Jesse graces our stage. Hold on. I always need help. I got it. All right. And we got it. All right. It's going to bum you out for just a moment because we're going to take a 10 to 15 minute break. But before we do that, let's hear it one more time for Jesse Pimpinella. He absolutely crushed it. All right, so we're going to take like a 10, 15-minute break so that you can fill up your cups, hit the restrooms, maybe grab another beer or a green beer. It's not worth it. Don't ever drink green beer. Baby, is it a shot? Yes, I love those. I want one. I need baby beer, Kahlua with Bailey's. I like Bailey's. It looks like a baby Guinness. Yeah, order me one of those. And then I'm going to, everybody else order one of those because that's fun. And I'm going to take a break for 10 to 15 minutes. I'm going to play some killer tunes by my buddy Barely Regal, who is a producer named Doran Danoff out of Nashville. You should check him out. He's actually touring with a country band right now. I forgot who it is. I'll look that up before we come on for the open mic. So, all right. Once again, we have the sign-up sheet for the open mic right here. If you dare to enter, I don't know if this is legal, but you can put a drink on my tab if you win. So, right here. All right, so we're going to play a little music. We're going to be back in about 10, 15 minutes, Internet World. And when we come back, hopefully we have some fun open mic contestants. Stay tuned. Phygital Nights continues soon. Real quick before we go, once again, there is a merch table over here. We have all kinds of t-shirts, stickers. Talk to the talented comedians to get your merch. All right, and once again, we're going to play some tunes by Doran Danoff, and we'll catch you in about 10:15. Later.
You know what I mean? We don't have all this gratitude. Yeah. It's just like, yeah.
That's my part.
Great, good to see you again. Yes, sir.
I just like start taking shots, like switch up every time.
30-second warning. We're about to get back into comedy. Gina, whenever you get a moment, could you please mute the jukebox? I just realized my hands are super greasy with chicken wings, so if the mic slips out of your hand, that is my bad. Yo, Mike, cut the mic. He is the worst. Mike. Alright, I don't think I've said it enough tonight. But isn't Gina the greatest ever? Alright, since we got the audio, I'm gonna turn the video back on. One moment. Hello there. Excuse me. Alright, everybody in this bar knows I like call and response. So, Buster. That was the weakest shit I've ever heard in my life. When I say Buster, I need to hear loud, like as loud as you can, a Buster back at me. Buster. I appreciate each and every one of you that actually said, and that was even better. I appreciate you. Okay, so, I mean, occasionally if the time required. Alright, so we are getting into our experimental open mic portion of the show. There is technically one spot available. Hold on. No momento, por favor. back to the microphone. ICE, don't arrest me. I'm an American citizen. I promise. Man, shit, I don't have them on me. Take me if you need to. I prefer warm tropical climates if you take me anywhere. I know my skin tone does not say that I like those areas, but I promise you I do. Okay, so we actually have a pretty good lineup so far. We do have one spot available, and if nobody signs up, then Buster's about to do some material. So I have myself asterisk. I had to make sure there was a hard K on that. All right. Anyway, so we're gonna get the open mic portion started by somebody who was the first of our era. The first person to sign up before the actual sign up started. And I appreciate you. There is a geographical alliance that we have here, and maybe some other things that we have in common. But I would like to invite to the stage Alika. I knew I was gonna fuck it up. I told you earlier I was gonna fuck it up.
Hello, my name is Alika. Licka. Alika the titty licka. If you can't remember my name, Licka. Alika the titty licka. That is what they used to call me back in school. Grad school. But in fairness, I did lick those titties, so I guess I probably earned it. I'm going to start off by addressing the elephant in the room here. It is true what everyone's been saying. They say about me, it's all true. All rumors are true. I wear a version of this shirt around every day because I'm trying to start a cult. Most days, though, I am the only member. If you'd like to be a member of my cult, we do offer a one-time, unlike most cults, we request only a one-time buy-in, just $12. Very economical for a cult membership. You can have 3 for $30, and we have a rainbow of colors. Move on, though. In my life, I've had, in the last quarter century, I should say, I've owned exactly 2 cars. The first one in 1997, Toyota Corolla, for 10 years. And then the next 10 years, I had something much fancier. Say, 1999 limited edition Toyota Corolla. It had a fancy racing stripe, a clock and everything, and a nice plastic coating on the paint that made it all peel off eventually. So. But back when I was driving my 97 Rolla, I had an ex say to me, he said, "It must be nice to have a car you don't have to worry about fucking up." And I remember at the time, like, I gotta break up with this guy. And there's a longer story there, but today I just like to talk to you about some of the benefits, the hidden benefits of having a car you don't have to worry about fucking up. So first of all, when you're driving a 1999 Toyota Corolla with all the paint peeled off and the sunroof stuck open, which did eventually happen, very few people are going to ask you for a ride. Very few. And the folks who do pretty much amount to just folks who just come out of rehab. So within that category, you got 2 basic groups. For those who, look, I'm the only one who's not mad that they puked in their car. So, you know, I'm a natural one to call. Yeah, there's that. And then the second group of people who are just folks who just got out of rehab, but they really needed to go because they have no memory whatsoever of the car I was driving. They call me up and I say, "Okay, look, you can put your pride in your pocket. You can ride with me." So the second benefit, moving on, if you throw in a leaky trunk gasket, no one will ever ask you to move. It's all like, you know, sure, you can borrow my car for your move. You can borrow it, but you do know there's a half a foot of slashing around in the trunk, right? I'm not crazy. Of course I dry it out. Of course I dry it out when it stops raining. You sound crazy right now. Yeah, look, man, it's been raining for 3 days. How's it going to be dry back there? Oh, yeah, sure. If I had money to keep the garage, yeah, I might have only 1 to 3 inches of water back there. It might make it easier to drain and a lot less rusty. But yeah, come on, man. If I had 1 to 3 hours in a parking garage kind of money, don't you think I could scrounge up some rough gasket repair money from whatever deep well that financial windfall came from? I mean, think it through. Think it through. And then the final one is that the parking lot prankery I used to be involved in. I love to, anytime I just be in the parking lot, I see someone ding my car with their door or something, I leap out and I go, oh my God, beautiful car! It used to be my pride and joy, but now it's just my joy. We have a good laugh, right? Until one day, oh God, I felt terrible about this. This woman just started sobbing. She's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I damaged your car. But my parents can't find out. The police can't find out. I'm 16 and my insurance can't find out. No one can find out. Please, I have $300 in my bank account. I'll give you right now. Please, 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 don't tell anyone. I felt terrible, right? Well, you know, here I am. I made a child cry. And all I got out of it was $300. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate how that's my time. Right? Thank you. I thought you gave me a like. Well, I appreciate you having me. You can find me at humanecon_AKS at Insta. Human like human beings. Econ like abbreviation for economy. If you'd like to buy a shirt, that will help me slightly offset the cost of networking about the fact that USAID funds the whole world's food supply. So I'm an economic anthropologist by training. And I've got shirts. I really do have shirts for 12 each or 3 for 30, excuse me. So I appreciate you having me. Thank you. I think I'm over my time now. Thank you very much.
You are so good. Thank you so much. Alika. I got it right once. I'm pushing myself. Okay, so we're gonna keep things going. If anybody wants to buy any of her merch, it is over here on the table as well. So next up to the mic is one of our regular open mic people, and he is grateful to be, gracing the presence of this stage. I'm just kidding. I am grateful to them for letting us host this, so I'm going to give him the mic. Here's Michael.
I learned from you comedians, and you guys take notes and shit, and you're like looking at stuff, and I thought you just had to freestyle it. Now, you guys that were here tonight, kicked ass. You just totally freestyled it and killed it. And I know you all laughed. But you're going to see the live stream, and I just want you to let you guys know I did notice that. We've had a lot of comedians here that they have notes. Anyway, so I let some of my friends know that it's okay to take notes. And my kids took notes for 30 years or so. But I got a couple here, and I just want to share. All right, so here's some things I've learned about, because I do a live stream here every Wednesday and Friday of live musicians. And I know the work involved and what it takes to do tonight's production. And I tell you what, the comedians are totally not like musicians. I tell my musicians in my band, here's your spot, here's your space, here's where you guys are going to be, stand right here, they do it. Comedians? No, they all started, I set them up back there and said, hey, I'm going to have you guys on, just like I do my live streams. Like, no, they want to walk up here and they're going to talk to everybody. Which was totally not at all, because there's all this feedback because of the microphones, and it's like completely different. So there's one thing I did learn. So other comedians don't listen to, they don't pay any attention. They're gonna do whatever they're gonna do to engage with everybody. Which I get it. I think it's awesome. The internet. You know what? The internet. So I'm one of those guys that when I was 17, I was living in my car in the hood in Detroit, and I promise you guys, that when you start to have perspective like that in life, you start to take some risks. Because I'll tell you what, because when that started happening to me, you know, well, we won't mention that I was trying to go to medical school, but I got busted by the FBI as a hacker. We're going back to the 80s, late 80s. But here's something I'll tell you. As a guy that went through some crazy shit like that, living in my car, there's some stuff that I did learn. And I wanted to share this. I thought, well, the internet, I saw everybody's like, hey, and they're all like hooking up with chicks and stuff. Here's something we didn't expect. I grew up where everybody said you got to go to school, you got to work hard, you got to do all this shit to make it somewhere in life. And now I know kids that are living off the internet that I got to help like facilitate in the engineering of, and they're making millions of dollars doing whatever the fuck they want. They're like live streaming and they're creating little widgets and they're doing whatever the hell they want and they're living life and they're making tons of money. Completely not the way any of us ever was raised to think that that's how you do it, right? If you want to pay bills and to make it in life, you got to work hard. They ain't working. They're having a blast. They're doing whatever the fuck they want. They're making a living. But anyway, I just want to let you know because that's how technology has changed and has enabled people like our kids to go out there and support themselves in a way that we never would have expected they would have done it. Wait, I do have some funny stuff because that wasn't just good. Oh, you know what? I remember growing up wondering who the fuck was from Pedestria. You gotta watch for these people, by the way. There's signs everywhere. I'm not sure where the fuck they're from, and to this day, I haven't heard anybody tell me about it. And I keep telling my kids, once you figure it out, you tell me where the fuck Pedestria is, because we're all watching out for it. And I'm still not sure what they are. I'm glad we can drive. Because apparently all the Pedestria people from Pedestria, they don't drive. Because you gotta watch out for them because they don't have cars. So, you know what? And also this. It's so really how desperate comedians are to be playing our little bar here in Ohio. Because you know what? Because I think of you guys like you're on these big shows all the time, you know? And I know all the bars, and I know what I do for the music people and for our musicians, for us, to live stream them, and I had no idea the struggle of the comedian. You guys must be super desperate to be coming here. Because you guys are more well known than some of the bands that we actually have playing here. So, you know what? I know my time is running out. I want to hurry up and say, oh, you know what? So, yeah, living in my car. To go from living in my car to actually, I am one of the guys that owns the bar now. And my life has been an amazing fucking journey of following my excitement and not my fears. And I know that all you comedians do that every day. So for all of you that know that if you keep following your excitement, it will support you in life. Keep doing it.
Buster told me I was up when Mike was done, and I am sorry. I totally missed his cue. Okay, but I do have a couple jokes. What I want to know is what's shorter than an Asian's dick? Anybody know what's shorter than Asian's dick? Well, I heard it was a ginger temper. Happy St. Patrick's Day. And also, if someone tells you a secret and they tell you not to tell a soul, you know your ginger friend is the only person you can share that secret with. They know all the secrets. You know, they don't have no soul. Okay. So I was actually talking to my kids tonight, and my extended kids, and we were talking about when they were growing up, and they would like, they'd come over and they would like break into the alcohol. You know, as parents, we always knew you were breaking in the alcohol, bitches. My parents knew when I was breaking in their alcohol too. My mom was like, "Hey, what happened to my bottle of cherry glue or whatever the fuck she was drinking?" It's like, "Oh yeah, well, Mom, I don't know." She's like, "Well, it tastes really watered down." I'm like, I don't know, Mom. Maybe you're a little bit drunk and you don't understand that you're. No, I couldn't blame it on my siblings. They were younger than me. I was the oldest. It was like a horrible situation. Anyway, the thing about growing up as a ginger, I'll have to tell you this. So my dad died when I was like 8 years old. And I'm not even joking about this. He did. He died. And what I heard, I didn't really know him that well, but what I heard was he was an amazing man. And then I got my stepdad. He was bad ass. But don't think for a second that fucker didn't stop for a minute to beat me like the goddamn redheaded stepchild that I was. He was so awesome. Actually, he never beat me, but I loved him. Party on Wayne, party on guard. Thank you, Columbus.
All right, we're testing my dexterity there for a second. All right, this is gonna test my verbal execution to its finest. And I'm already gonna apologize because I've already fucked up somebody's name tonight. Why did you have to correct me? That's actually what I was gonna say. Welcome to the stage, Nevaeh.
Thanks so much, guys. So I have to confess something to everybody. And there could be a few more of us in the room, but I'm adopted. Is anybody else here adopted? Sweet. Okay, so a few years ago, I actually got to meet my birth mother. And she told me about my conception. My mom and dad were on the beach. They'd known each other through middle school, through high school, and all of a sudden, junior year, they're on the beach. And it happened. I was conceived. Right? Oh my gosh. The miracle of life. Thank you, God. But as soon as my dad found out about me, he joined the army. Okay, come on. Right? Oh my gosh, he joined the army. So now, many years later, I'm a mom, and my son is cussing me out. He calls me a bitch. I'm like, whoa, at least keep it accurate. Call me a bastard. I'm a mother of 4. And I have to tell you, I do not date anybody 5 to, I would say, 8 years younger than me. Because let me tell you, if all of a sudden you're in the moment and he calls you mommy, it's called trauma. So I was just in the ladies' room here. Amber, Farron, Alika, we were discussing things, but then I had to go into, the stall. I've had a few. And I started, I confess to you. Please don't judge me. I was singing a song from Sesame Street, and they all started singing with me. And then someone called me mom. Jesus was not involved with that. So anyway, okay, off topic. So my husband, one day he was telling my son, you need to mow the lawn. Any parents in here, you got to give your kids chores so that they can grow up and be responsible citizens, right? Yeah. Well, my son, he didn't do the chore. He didn't mow the lawn in the time frame that my husband was expecting. And so he started getting in my son's face and, talking down to him. And I was like, whoa. And so I had to go outside because they were outside. And I had to get in the middle of them and say, you gotta stop this right now. I do not like this. And he's like, I'm disciplining my son. I said, no, this is not discipline. This is not discipline. This is abuse. This is verbal abuse. And he says, fuck you. And I said, no, thank you. So, another confession, last confession. Years ago, my husband cut me off. And to save my marriage, I said, okay, I need 20 minutes of conversation and a hug a day. That is the bare minimum. And he says, yeah, whatever. And I'm like, okay, well, then I'm going to go on a dating app. And he says, have fun. So now, currently, I have a husband and I have a boyfriend. And I'm sorry, but hold on a second. I would like to make a toast to the husbands and the boyfriends. May they never meet. Woo!
All right, there's no keeping it going, but everybody give it up for Nevaeh. Because that was awesome. All right, so far she's in the lead, but we do have some heavy hitters coming up. All right, I often have a lot of joke names on this, so I just want to make sure that this is a real person. All right, up next is Dirty Tea. Is there a Dirty Tea? I mean, I know there's one back in the cart from when I. Is there a Dirty Tea? Anybody? You're not a tea, right? Is this you? I mean, it fits a description. Are you Dirty Tea? All right, we have Dirty Tea. All right, I gotta fix the camera, but
I want to do some jokes. Can you do me on Freebird on that, or?
I mean, I can't, but but I'll pay for the touch tunes after the stream. How about that?
I love you, brother.
I love you. Thank you.
This is our first time here. We're from Golly, Circleville.
Hey,
all of our buddies are down there, but where is it?
We like Chillicothe. That's where Frank's from.
Hello. Hey, Rosie Red, you ready for some fun? God damn it. We'll tell some medical hillbilly jokes. Because I'm a dirty nurse, and you know that. All right. Get her done, brothers, sisters, and mothers. You goddamn leprechaun, I hear you. All right. Oh, shit to bed. This is a hillbilly comedy, I guess. I love my brother Jameson because he got me drunk tonight. Sorry, brother. My brother from the other dirty mother. Yow! All right, you guys want to hear some jokes or some music? Don't. Well, I'm a medical dirty old dog, so I'm going to play you some medical music here. Medical jokes. All right. You hear about the doctor and the nurse walking down the hall? Doctor, nurse walking down the hall. The nurse looked at the doctor and said, "Hey, doc, what's that thermometer behind your ear?" And he pulls it out and says, "God damn it, wonder what asshole's got my pencil." Yeah, there he goes. He got it. All right. This is from, I was in the Army, and I went down to Fort Bragg for a conference, a military conference. This is no bullshit. And we had a Navy guy down there, and I didn't know what, I was an Army. I didn't know what a Navy guy was going to do. And it was an admiral, and he said, "All right, guys," he said, I got something to tell you here. And I was like, "What's that?" And he said, we all was like, "What's this guy going to say?" And he said, this hippie walks into this hamburger joint, and he says, "You know how doctors use acronyms and this and that?" He said, "I like a BLT, ASAP, NT." And old Mel, like a Mel's Diner back there, he scratches his head and he says, "Okay, doc, I think I know what you mean. You want a BLT as soon as I can get it, but what's the NT stand for?" And he says, "Not toasted." They said, "Well, that's what I'm saying." And he said, and so he said, all right, doc, I got you. So old Mel from like Mel's Diner, you remember what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about. So he goes, "Yeah, the old boy." So he scratches his head. He's like, See, I'm the old bulk. I look at that motherfucker. He said, well, I'm working. I'll buy shit to make it work. But he's like, all right, Doc, all right. So he goes back and makes his fucking, he makes his sandwich. He comes back and he plops it on the table and he says, there you go, Doc. And old Doc goes and picks it up and he says, but it's soggy on the bottom. And old Mel looks at him and he says, shit. And he says, no, I'm telling you, I'm complaining. It's soggy on the bottom and I don't know why. And he said, shit. And he said, what do you mean, shit? I'm explaining to you, it's soggy on the bottom. He said, should have had it toasted. Should have had it toasted. All right, here's a good one. Here's my last one. This is the first time I've ever done this, so be fucking tender on me, goddammit, because I'm a little feller. I'm a little feller. I ain't fucking hardcore like you old sons of bitches. All right, this guy walks into a sex therapist. His friend sent him there because he was getting ready to get married, and he didn't know how to have sex. He really didn't know much about having sex. And he said, okay. So he went into this girl. She was a sex therapist, and she said, all right, well, okay, I know what your problem is, and this is all you got to do. You got 3 weeks till you get married. So the first week, I want you to practice this. You just put your feet shoulder width together and go nickel, nickel. And he's like, ma'am, I don't really know what this is going to do. I think I'm just wasting my time. She said, no, I've done this for many years. You just got to trust me. Nickel, nickel. Go home and practice this for a week and come back the next week. I'll tell you what to do. So he goes home and he practices in the mirror. You know what I mean? Nickel, nickel. Nickel, nickel. And he's like, I feel so stupid. This shit ain't going to work. But he goes back a second week. He says, ma'am, I really don't think this is going to work. She said, listen, I'm a verified sex therapist. I want you to practice this all week. Come back in another week and I'll tell you another thing to do. So he said, he shows her what he knows. He's like, nickel, nickel. She says, okay, add this to it. Nickel, nickel, quarter. She's like, Jesus. He's like, goddamn, dude, come on. He's like, all right, ma'am, I'll practice it. I'll come back. So he goes back. He trusts his friend. So he goes back his third week, right before he's ready to get married. He says, okay. But she says, show me what you know. And he's like, nickel, nickel. She said, add this to it. He's like, ma'am, I really don't think this is going to work. She said, just add it to it. It's a tried, tested, true thing. So he goes, nickel, nickel. And she says, add quarter. Nickel, nickel, quarter. So he goes back for the last week. And this sex therapist, she's a well-renowned dude, renowned girl. So he goes back and he says, ma'am, I really don't. She said, you got to really trust me. Do you trust me? She said, and he said, yes, I do. And he said, all right. She said, add this. And when you're on your wedding night and you go back and you have sex with your girl, she's going to love you and she'll stay with you forever. Right? So she says, go nickel, nickel, quarter, dollar. And he's like, ma'am, I don't. She says, you trust me? He said, yes, I do. I'm so far in. Yes, I do. So on his wedding night, they have a beautiful wedding. It's a beautiful wedding. Beautiful wedding. They're going down the road and the freaking cans are popping down the road. They go down to their bungalow and they're really getting it on their first night being together. And he's with this girl and he goes, all right, nickel, nickel, quarter, dollar, nickel, nickel, quarter, dollar, nickel, nickel, quarter, dollar, nickel, nickel, quarter, dollar, nickel, nickel. And he's getting fucking tired. You know what I mean? He's like, God damn, motherfucker. He's like, nickel, nickel, quarter, dollar. And this old girl's just going, I love it. He's going, nickel, nickel. He says, fuck it. $1.35. $1.35. $1.35. $1.35. So if you ever hear a $1.35, well, you better run because you know what you got coming. You're going to be worn out.
All right, keep it going for Dirty Tea, everybody. All right, let me get this back on an actual comedian. Hold on. All right. All right, first of all, if nobody noticed, I did have a wardrobe change. That is because the official St. Patrick, color is definitely not green. You goddamn Protestant fucks. Why can't I get this to fucking... All right. I think my G.I. Joe Kung Fu grip actually worked. All right, so you guys have to deal with my 5 minutes for a second before we get back to an actual professional. God damn it, it's not at the right angle. Right. Fuck it, we're going rogue. All right, yep, we're good. We are good. Okay, so full disclosure, I've done this set like 4 or 5 times in the past week, mainly because I'm trying to host for Columbus Comedy Festival. Now then, nobody. Flip that, because that's fucking awesome. Anyway, okay, so you get my full 5-minute set. You ready? Hey, the people in the back, are you ready? Okay, I have 3 questions to start off my open mic bit. Who here has smoked weed before? Who here still currently smokes weed? Raise your hand. All right, third, we're all going to meet in the back parking lot after the set. Just saying. Okay, so recently I've taken on the thoughts of we need to drug test our creatives and our artists. No, not necessarily to disqualify anybody from anything. I need to know what goes into that piece of art. I need the drug facts, right? All right, so you walk into a surrealist museum, you see a painting. It says, oil on canvas, 1974. I don't want to hear that. I want the facts. I want the drug facts. So I wanted to say medium oil on canvas. Blood alcohol content 0.18. THC level Snoop Dogg. Mushrooms? Yes. Yeah, we get it. We get it, Salvatore. You saw a melting clock, but what we all realize is you were just on a 3-day peyote bender. So that brings me to my expertise on how your perception of reality can change in an instant. All right, we're gonna take a trip back in time. Back to high school, and the first time that I ever smoked weed. So, all right, back in high school, we had this dude, he was like the rock star. His name was TJ. He partied like a rock star. He could cross up anybody on a basketball court without breaking a sweat. But the major like bonus points for TJ was he drove a 1998 black Ford Mustang GT50 with the leather interior to match. This guy, if you heard him coming, you knew somebody's curfew was going to get blown. All right, so when I wanted to try pot, I first went to TJ. And any person you would know normally would just like pull out a joint or, you know, a bowl or whatever. No, this dude, he said, fuck that. We're going to go to the PhDs in couch lock. So we get there, and, you know, somebody, not me, obviously, decided that 4 bowls was the appropriate amount to smoke for this first timer. And I'm not talking like regular weed. I'm not talking middies. I'm talking the best weed in the Tri-County area. So I proceeded to smoke 4 bowls. Not very smart for a rookie, but I was trying to get the full effect. So I smoked 4 bowls. And we're sitting there, all right, hands in the audience. Who has played Mario Kart? All right, I got a couple hands. All right, so for those unfamiliar, Mario Kart, you're some plumbers and you're driving around in some go-karts, and you're basically throwing mythical, you know, turtle shells and banana peels and shit, you know, trying to win a race. During this fact, I decided it was a great idea that we needed a mission. And I don't know, like we've heard, like the, you know, Harold and Kumar White Castle. Whenever you smoke, you kind of always have a mission. So we decided to leave the comfort of our couch-locked N64 experience. We decided to pause the game. And we needed to drive 27 minutes to the mall in Mansfield. Now, you know, I'm not going to say that we drove crazy on the drive. I mean, we were probably going like 80 miles per hour. But I feel bad for the people that were, you know, driving behind us. Not because, you know, we were driving crazy or anything, but because I was actively pantomiming, throwing turtle shells and fucking, you know, banana peels out the back of a 98 Ford Mustang GT drop top. And they were just a fucking Honda Civic driving behind us, trying to keep up speed. So that brings me back to my main point, that we need to drug test our creatives. Because if I was, you know, writing a song or, you know, doing an oil on canvas, I want the world to know that I was 4 bowls deep and actively fighting Bowser. And nobody gives a shit. But I love you, Internet. All right, so unless there's anybody who is brave enough to sign back up, I am going to bring back one of our favorites from the evening. Don't tell Jack Warner or Jesse Pimpinella. But to be honest, I really love Frank and everything he does. And I apologize that I was, you miss this when you're in the bathroom. I apologize that I almost created a rapper named Lispy Steve. I love you, Frank. Welcome back to the mic. Take however long you need. I don't give a shit.
All right, guys. Let's move that out of the way. All right. When most people hear my voice, they say, bless his heart. Is he okay? And I'm okay, but it does bring up my greatest fear, and that's having a stroke on stage, and nobody notices. Is he slurring his words? Who the fuck can tell? Who the fuck can tell? Yeah. That's most of my list jokes I told earlier. As you all know, I was on Kill Tony. I always love going to Austin because they think I'm Cajun there. Yeah. And I always go by the terrorist-free airline. I go by Spirit Airline because no self-respecting terrorist would hijack Spirit. They'd be the laughingstock of the terrorist world. I can hear it now. Did you hear about Abdul? No, he hijacked the Spirit Airline. He's only getting 36 virgins. Most people are killed Tony for aspiration and stuff. I go tell a few jokes, give a prostate exam, and they think I'm the Dalai Lama of dick jokes now. Yes. Tony said I was the funniest guy they've had. It looks like he wasn't allowed 50 yards from the school. Yeah. He asked me how long I'd been doing comedy. I said 2 marriages worth. Yeah. Most of the people on Kill Tony in those 20s and shirts with holes in them and talking about microdosing on shrooms. I'm 67, fully dosed on blood pressure and ED meds, and I'm still running circles around the motherfuckers. Yes, I am. Let's see. Some guy said I was an inspiration. He didn't know someone my age could be funny on purpose. Yes. They said I had dad energy. I said, no, I had granddad energy. I have granddad with reverse mortgage energy. That's why I got granddad with reverse mortgage energy. Let's see. As I told y'all the joke earlier, I just recently got divorced. So, of course, I'm down the dating apps, you know. Well, I'm a cheap motherfucker, so I'm only on Facebook. But it seems like the only women that swipe right on me are in the late 70s and 80s. I didn't realize I'd still be cougar bait at this age. Texting them's different at this age, you know. Instead of saying how y'all and stuff like that, it's like, how's your financial health? Don't send me a tit pic. Send me a pic of your last bank statement. What do I have to do to get into your will? That way when I fuck her to death, I get to score twice, you know. Let's see, what do I got here? Oh, divorce rates. Notice the divorce rates between, I as well address to you, you don't want to pay attention. Divorce rates between heterosexual couples and lesbian couples about the same, and the divorce rate for homosexual men are much lower. So we see what the common denominator is, don't we, ladies? Not only can you not find a good man, you can't find a good woman either. Must be a shame. I went by a university recently, and they had anyway, I went to university recently and saw they had a billboard about a domestic violence seminar. I didn't realize they gave classes on how to beat your spouse. I did not realize that. I did not. Okay, I'll talk about this a little bit. I used to teach human anatomy and physiology at a university in Southern Ohio. And I want to let, as an adjunct professor, and I want to let everybody know, all the women know, I told them where the clitoris was. I figured they should get some useful information for that student loan. Yes, that's true. But I don't understand why men have such a hard time finding the clip these days. It's not like in my day, the big bush era was like hacking through the Amazon. It was easy to get lost. Now it's clear cut like the Midwest. It looks like the anatomical chart, guys. It's a fucking map. If you follow it, you'll find the promised land. And I also practiced medicine for 27 years. And there's a few things I like to tell about practice of medicine. One is when your doctor asks you what sort of medication you're on, don't say a little white pill. That's like telling a girl when she asks how big your dick is and you say it's adequate. It gives us no information at all, none at all. And when you come into the ER with some object up your ass, you don't have to come up with some story like I was naked in the garden and I slipped and that zucchini chest ended up there. We know that's not how that happened. And guys, at one point or the other, in your life, you thought about being a gynecologist. But because of all that pussy you'd look at, I want to show you that the pussy you guys look at and the pussy us docs look at ain't the same pussy. The pussy you guys look at is well groomed, has had its morning coffee and cigarettes, well groomed. But doctors, it's happy pussy, and the pussy us doctors look at hasn't had its morning coffee and cigarette. It's got a 5 o'clock jacket shadow, and it's usually dripping something. It's angry pussy. I think I'm going to just end on that because I think this crowd is done for the night. Catch you later.
We here at the Leaping Lizard, you can hear by the hiccup that we don't mind. It's following you. It loves you, Frank. All right. No, it was following you. The camera loved you as it should. Frank, you are welcome back whenever you want. Just let me know. Anybody that's killed Tony is cool in my book. I would not do good at that because I need build up for my comedy. All right. That being said, is there anyone brave enough to follow the infamous Frank Demint? No? All right. Franklin Demint. That's his proper name. He is a Chillicothian, so I feel like you should know him. This guy killed Tony. He's still alive, but apparently, no, for real. Oh yeah, we got a scratch in. Yes. All right. Well, if we don't have a scratch in, we should get a sponsorship agreement somewhere. Take that back to your boss.
Jamie won't do that, then I'm going to do Dirty Tea, and I'm going to do some free bird for you and rock the goddamn house. All right.
You got a guitar?
I don't need it.
You free as a bird. I mean, I can, but I don't know if we're going to do that. But why don't you check me next week? All right, you want to wail out on some fucking Freebird? All right. So to show our way out, we are going to. This is a weird view. I'm sorry. We are going to have a rock out. Dude, I appreciate you. All right, I don't give a shit what you do. All right, we're gonna acapella, straight acapella. All right, this is our acapella interpretation of Freebird, and then we're gonna close out with our exit shit because. All right, hey, real quick, before we do this, all right, you have something in your cup. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, brother. All right. So, all right, you have something in your cup. All right, real quick, I do have to cheers to a patron of the arts. Does anybody appreciate the arts? All right. Everybody cheers that has a drink in their hand to the arts and subliminally, I don't know if that was actually a word, subliminally to my buddy Steve, who is a patron of the arts and is supporting us tonight. All right, to the arts. 1, 2, 3.
Get her done, brother. I'm gonna go pee and then I'll join you. You sing the first part of it.
I got you. I got you. I got you. All right, make it a quick one. All right, so Dirty T is now one of my best friends. I'm just saying. He is definitely a patron of the arts, and we're keeping the live stream going. Oh my God, I love you guys. All right. All right. What do you guys know Freebird? No, I got a generous tip, and we're gonna do what we're gonna do. Un momento, por favor. All right. All right. No, we gotta make sure we're in. Michael, can I have your assistance, please? All right, and we're doing it straight a cappella. This is for you, the internet. All right, I feel like I need like the intro to get it right. We're going a cappella.
Yeah.
No.
Need a mic over this.
Yeah, tomorrow.
We gotta have we got the music for it.
No, we're a cappella. If I stay tomorrow, I don't remember there.
Would you ever? All right, we need. You know what we need? We need like a background soundtrack. Can you pull something up, Buster? Sorry, babe. Hold on, just give us a second.
I love you. Let me get a good drink here. You gonna come tomorrow or Thursday night? If you guys come tomorrow, Thursday night, I'll blow your minds. But do it tonight, and I'll get her done for you. Thank you.
Thank you. You know, I've been married for like 5 years.
Die for you. Jesus Christ. Sorry, brother. I'll wait till tomorrow. Fuck, I don't know what you're doing. I'm trying, goddammit. I usually play with karaoke songs. I can for a band, but I can do whatever. I'm an old
Fuck
drunk
it.
motherfucker.
We're doing it our way.
All right, brother. You think you can put it on the mic or-
No, we're just doing it.
I'll leave it tomorrow. Would you still remember me? I'm as free as a bird now. Would you still remember me? Yeah. Don't I?
Do you have any good duets on?